Welcome back. I'm Josh Halpern, and as promised, we're going to talk about how to find the right partner for your fulfillment and shipping strategy. So again, if you're only shipping a handful of orders each week, it's likely too soon to consider outsourcing your order fulfillment. However, if you're shipping more than maybe 10 packages a day, now's the time to begin your search for a partner. These partners can be either freight forwarders or logistics partners. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about third-party, fourth-party, or fifth-party service and logistics providers. So let's start with the freight forwarders. Freight forwarders are an important resource that can help reduce your global anxiety. And reducing anxiety is the key to life. Their role can be likened to a travel agent on steroids for your cargo, and it's extremely important as you continue this journey. Freight forwarders coordinate your shipment of goods from one place to another using different modes of transportation. Freight forwarders are trained to handle the entire flow of the process, from the initial cost quotation to customs clearances, and they are experts in managing the logistics necessary to ensure that your goods arrive on time and in good condition. They can also help you deal with warehousing, inspection, packaging, documentation, insurances, and insurance claims. They may require you to sign limited power of attorney to appoint them as your agent in matters dealing with movement of freight. The important thing here is that the expertise and relatively low cost of freight forwarders are difficult to duplicate internally, especially in the early stages of a company's international growth. The advantages of doing business with a freight forwarder are plentiful. For example, you can rely on an in-depth knowledge and expertise. You can expect time and cost savings. You can leverage the international network to navigate potential issues, and you can use them to streamline your whole supply chain so that you can focus on what you do best: marketing, creating, and selling your goods. But freight forwarders are not the only logistics partners you should be looking at. Third, fourth, and fifth party logistics, or 3PL, 4PL, 5PL, and I'd like you to say that 5 times fast. Come back to me, I'll wait. Okay, maybe I won't wait. Okay, they offer complete and relevant services for exporters. Let's start by explaining what they are and why they do what they do. The third-party logistics, or 3PLs, are fulfillment companies that will help you get your products from your factory to the buyer. Fourth-party logistics, or 4PLs, will deal with all of the 3PL's transport duties, but they also take care of packaging and products. Most of the time, fourth-party logistics providers will also outsource some of their own contracted services. As for fifth-party logistics providers, or 5PLs, they transport the goods, package them, but they also take care of most of the internal supply chain, from productivity to delivery. Some view 3PLs more as managers of a particular outsourced service, as 4PLs and 5PLs are more providers overseeing service across an entire supply chain. For small exporters, 3PLs are usually the norm. They take care of warehousing, pick and pack, inspection, and some will help you with light assembly if needed. Essentially, they offer the ability to outsource many of the time-consuming, expensive functions associated with global expansion, and they provide an excellent method of solving international logistics problems without investing in overseas facilities, warehouses, technology, staff, and all of those things. They help you turn the challenge into competitive advantage, because if you find the right one, you're that much more ahead of the game than other people down the road. The benefit of using these third-party logistics partners are extensive. They will contribute to lowering the final cost for you and your customers, and they can help you scale up or down depending on your sales. They can help you test new markets, and they're great for mitigating risk. They allow you to benefit from years of experience and knowledge, and they will help you deal with international logistics, including paperwork. So to go even a little bit further into 3PLs, because that's really the main focus here, what they do is they receive your products to be stored. They warehouse them until the order comes in. They pick the item when it's ordered. They pack it, and they get it ready to ship. And this process is often referred to as pick and pack. 5, they ship the product, and maybe they deal with returns. Yes, returns. And they're more and more referred to as reverse logistics. The problem with this term, though, is that it suggests that you just backtrack your shipping process. And of course, it's more complex than that. To succeed effectively in returns, you have to manage all aspects of that cycle from a new perspective, including returning, recalling, repairing, exchanging, remarketing, and more. Your return policy should have 2 goals. 1, to make the process itself as painless as possible for the customer, and 2, to minimize the returns by following best practices. And when I say minimize returns, again, you'll hear from other videos, increased return rates can be a good thing because they do create a better relationship with your customer, and it means they're having better faith, especially in cross-border, with you and your products and your return policy. But if they're frustrated with the returns, it is counterproductive. So it's important to note that returns are on the rise and a lot more important to e-commerce. Physical shops record between 8 to 10% return rates, whereas e-commerce companies are seeing 20% or higher. And since running an effective reverse logistics pipeline is extremely complex, the use of logistics partners is becoming more and more important. And it must be taken seriously because failure to provide a painless return process can damage your brand in the long term. So the ideal situation we're striving for, and Amazon is obviously pushing us all to compete harder and faster, is to provide a full refund, no receipt required, no original packaging needed. Not every business can do this, but the closest you can get to perfection, the better the experience will be for you and for your customers. Most 3PLs will offer return services which will help you make sure the process is smooth, but also integrated into your whole logistics pathway. Another thing we'll talk about in the expert interviews is something called duty drawbacks, the idea of getting the duty back if a customer does return the item. Again, if you're not having them pay for it up front, but you're taking care of it, you want to make sure you're getting it back. But of course, if they're paying for it, make sure they get it back, and likely up front, and you wait for it. So there's the video on what kind of partners are out there and finding the right partners for your fulfillment needs cross-border. We'll see you in the next video. Stay local, go global. Ciao.